I'll just say something. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it. Anybody have anything to say under public comments? Okay.
Michelle gave $993.72 for October. And you
Okay.
said second notices went out.
Monday.
That was the 4th.
Well, I guess we're down to road foreman report.
We've been working on rescuing some burn down there and whatnot. Everything else I think is ready for winter. Just the lady called on Parsons, I couldn't tell her name, I should have a message in there, but it's just, I'm sorry, it hasn't rained in a month.
Yeah.
So that was Mary Hickok.
Is that what it was?
Because she called me.
Where's she?
We tried to cock in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on the corner.
That was oil good. Probably all go around.
If she's on the corner of Parsons and.
Right down that sharp curve.
Yep, this, I didn't take the oil off, it's still there. I stopped before the oil, so I mean, the oil's still there, but we can't put salt on it this time of year because it's too close to winter, then it'll just get sloppy and afraid. We put too much on it now, won't it?
I don't know. Never had experience with it. We could
No.
try it once and see what
Try and
happens.
see. I don't know. You gotta water it down though.
Yeah.
Right, and that's another thing, I can't get Jeff, he's on the north.
Yeah.
They can't get water. I did call him about that after that happened, and he said, we're using it now, spreading and this and that, and he's combining everything else, so I said, well, I don't know what else to do, you know what I mean? If it rained, it would go away, but I didn't touch the oil for that reason, because I didn't want to take it up.
Well, that's what I asked her. And she's like, no, the oil's still there. It's just that it's from coming, like everybody's coming down Parsons and it's like with their coming and it's just from even before the oil. So it's like the cloud that's still, yeah, it's the cloud that's following them.
Well, next time I'll go further up the hill.
Yeah.
I think we ought to oil the driveway out here too.
I did that one year.
Okay.
I oiled some of it. But they have to do it when they're going out. And they're out there in the middle of the road messing around, putting booms up.
Oh,
That's why I didn't ask them to do it, but I'll do it this time. Next year.
Because we just talked about putting some salt and water down, but I couldn't get anybody to come water it.
Right,
So,
yeah, you
so I
can't
didn't say anything. Because Jeff said no. Call Chris Moore and see if they got somebody while they were up to the farm working that day. They didn't have time to
do it
do
either.
anything.
So
So
want to oil and chip it?
that's probably a good idea.
Didn't very much at the road back past the building here.
Right. Just to cut down on the dust.
You just got
You're gonna do that way and this way both, or?
I would say, and that way they can start out at the road, right?
Yeah.
And work their way in,
Yeah.
and they don't have to worry about driving through there. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think.
And
Now we own it. We didn't before, it was just right away.
Right.
Now we own that land there.
I need to get posts for signs. The signs came the other day, all of them. They're like $72 a piece. How many am I gonna order?
This posts are?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
The breakaway ones?
Yeah, yep, the ones just like we've been doing, where you drive the piece in the ground and slide it down there, but we got so many of them, they're bent and crooked and twisted and everything else. I mean, I'd like to get at least a dozen of them, and that won't fix them all, but it would be a start.
Be a start, yeah.
It would.
How many signs are there?
Like 33 or something like that.
So if you got a dozen, that would be a third.
That would be a third. Yeah, I could replace the worst ones.
Right.
The end of your road just bent over, on Breeze Road it's bent over, on Baptist Church Road there's an old rusty one that's still there this time though, nobody's touched it. There's some fingerprints on it, so they're not happy.
I was trying to figure out, I saw a sign laying on the road, something laying somewhere.
Is that the minimum that you have to buy, or do they come in?
No,
It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
think there's any minimums or anything like that, I just know that we can use that many. Once we get started, I easily use that many. Another thing, they talked to Watson again today about plow. He actually called me, Springfield Township has one, supposedly the same plow that what I use, that they don't like, it's too big. They used it one time for half a snowstorm, and been parked ever since. And they think they'll sell it, they're gonna have a meeting Monday night, and then they'll decide then for sure, not whether they'll sell it. But it has a different hitch on it than what ours does, but they can take the hitch off of the big plow and just switch them around. And then when we sell the big plow, we don't need that hitch anyhow. So I mean, that's an option on that. And that other guy I talked to you about, he's out in left field somewhere.
Oh, cause I got 2 quotes for that.
The first quote completely way off, that's not even the same plow.
Well, the first one was 11. Well, I'm hopefully thinking that it's 11 feet by 42
Yep.
inches.
Yep.
For 12,807.
This is new?
Yes.
Yeah.
$12,897 shipped. $11,786 picked up with 60-day lead time to build it.
Pick
You
up
said-
where?
In Ohio.
Just in Ohio.
And then the second one is 11 feet by 55 expressway.
But that's still wrong, we're looking for a 12-foot plow, not 11-foot plow.
With $14,292 drop ship to township. $12,792 customer pickup. 60-day lead time.
And wasn't the first quote that Watson's give us for the exact same one that we have, 14 or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
12 feet by 40, 14,821.
And that's the exact same plow that
That's
Springfield.
supposed to be, yep, Springfield's supposed to be the exact same plow as the one that I use.
And how long have they had it, do you know?
I don't know
Same
that.
kind?
Pardon?
Is it Monroe?
Yep, buyers.
I'll buy it.
Yep, buyers. I don't know. He didn't talk to me till it was late, so I was gonna go look at it to see.
I was gonna say, we'll find out if they are gonna sell it, and then go look at it, and then we'll decide next meeting.
What's going on with that? Because, I mean, if you can get that one, if it's still brand new, like they say, you might go to get them, save $1,000 on it or whatever, my freight here.
Well, I'd say more than that, if they've had it a while.
You would think so. You would think,
Unless they decide to put it out for bid, and then who knows?
right. Right, I'm not, all I know is just what he told me that today, it's supposed to be the same as what we want, and they're gonna decide Monday night whether they're gonna sell it, because nobody up here will use it, it's just too big and they don't like it. So, other than that, I don't know much more about it. Be able to tell to look at it whether it's new or not, or whether,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we gotta decide, pretty soon we're gonna be spring before we decide what.
Decide, yeah. Maybe we won't need them this year, maybe it'll stay like this, I like this weather. I like this.
Well, now you jinxed it, but thanks.
Okay. Admin bill explained.
Well, you missed the handbook.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Oh, yeah, there it is. Handbook. Mark said he had a couple questions.
Yeah, if I read it right here. Let's see, I didn't like the whole medical leave thing.
We don't have to offer FMLA. We can take that out.
The only question I had was, yeah, I believe I read if they're off more than 30 days, they could lose their health insurance. Yeah, I didn't like that. But I see there's a note here that said,
Depending on why they're off.
if they're, like, if somebody has to go for knee replacement, and any type of surgery, if they're off more than 30 days, you can't take their health insurance away from them.
Well, that'd be, I mean, so then we can offer FMLA.
Okay, and how does that work?
Same thing that we did for Bob then. That if they worked for more than a year, then they would be, they would have to fill out the paperwork. They would use their vacation and their sick time first, and then they would be off without pay up for 12 weeks.
I don't know, I just want to make sure that we're not screwing somebody out of something just because they're sick. It's like we did for Bob what we could, and I feel we need to do that for all of our employees.
But then there's another thing in there that we can give them up to 30 days leave, personal time for other things besides medical, depending on what they're doing. Like if they were in the military, then they would be able to leave.
Right, without pay, right?
Right.
Okay. I like this emergency responders leave. I asked Brittany Moses, boy down there, when that fire was going on, and he's not allowed to leave. Steve Shannon's. They're not allowed to leave.
Oh, yeah?
Nope.
And that's their own, I mean, they're important people, somebody's gotta do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's part of the hazard mitigation. That's one of the crises that they have, that they don't have the staffing. Let's check, I forgot those papers. See, should I stay home?
Exit interview. What's the purpose of that?
When they leave employment, they have the opportunity to sit down with us and tell us,
Well, we don't have to require it.
no. They have the option.
You'll have to do it if they want to, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Pretty standard these days.
I'm sorry?
It's pretty standard these days, it seems like.
Yeah, a lot of private places are adopting it too.
So you said Arnie read it?
You found a typo.
Where at? Oh, he didn't say. No. Okay, yes.
Can I approve it?
I just want to make sure that our employees are taken care of.
I'll make a motion.
I second it.
Handbook.
Do a lot of townships have these, or?
According to Caleb, most townships are getting into them because they're getting into a lot of gray areas that things are coming up that they haven't,
Never dealt with it.
kind of like us.
You know?
And it's a CYA on both ends.
Well, I guess we discussed the snowplow, didn't we? That's the next on the
Yes.
mechanical bill, admin mechanical.
Yes. So they sent me a bill with the service call, and then I just kind of brought it because you dealt with them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So they said it found the boiler was off and low water cut off. The valve on water feeder side was closed, open to fill the boiler, reset the low water cut off. Test fire the boiler, it runs good. Notice some circuits of the loop were not circulating. Confirmed most circuits were working with the temp clamp. Need to return with some antifreeze, a pump refractor meter, and some buckets to bleed these zones of air.
Yep, that was the first time they was here.
Okay,
Then they came this week.
so they did come back.
Yep, they've been
Okay.
here this week, and there's 5 loops that don't even work. They don't even circulate water. And that pump that he's talking about, he showed us how to, there's a gauge in there, you look at the gauge, when it gets down to 0, then you have to flip a lever over here, put water in, because there's 2 loops that are leaking water. The water's going somewhere else, they put air pressure to it, and it drops down, so, and that's why it's out of water all the time. I mean, there's no antifreeze in it, just pure water. Which, as long as it don't ever freeze, ain't a big deal, but if it freezes, it can be bad.
So the 5 loops that aren't working, they're never gonna work?
They're never gonna work.
No.
They're never gonna work. They've either been, when they put the tubes in, they made the corners too sharp and kinked them, or they.
Could have done when they poured cement.
Yep, there's lots of things that could have been, just,
But there shouldn't be no excuse for that.
no, they should have been paying attention when they poured concrete. That should
That,
never
the
happen.
line should have been put in there,
Right, so it couldn't happen.
because that's why they lay them in that insulation, right?
Yep.
They put them down in insulation so they can move them around, so they don't move.
Yep.
So what do we do?
We just put a heater in the ceiling, didn't he?
Yep, they were supposed to come, but they didn't show up. But the only way they're gonna make up for it, they wanna put one of them hydronic heaters up in the ceiling, use the same boiler and everything, just put hot water up to that at the same time as coming out of
Okay,
the other
so
one.
it's not gonna be vented.
Nope, it won't be vented, it'll just be a hot water radiator more
Just
or
a
less. So-
radiator, like.
Well, I feel Schoonovers ought to know about this.
Well,
They say there's nothing wrong. They said, how many times are they here? There's nothing
Well,
wrong with it.
It's not, and it's the farthest way it's working, but the problem is that the loops are not circulating.
Rick, they've never been, they've been kinked since the day the concrete was poured. It's
So
never
why didn't
worked right.
why didn't Schoonovers find this out?
I don't know.
I don't know, I don't think Spooner ever, I never seen them test. You know, this guy took the lines apart and put air to them and made sure it held and everything else, and then there's a little, I can show you, there's a little float on it, you loosen this valve, push this up and unhook this hose and put water to it, and water never comes out the other end. It can't get through it. So,
Wasn't it Bardo that poured the floor?
No, they subbed it out.
And the insulation around the bottom of the building too, that's
right,
not,
that's not even there.
that's not there.
On those blocks that they laid,
No.
that should have been spray foamed.
Yep.
So, if he didn't, Adams talked about drilling a hole, you know, and
Yeah.
seeing if they did underneath the concrete, but
Now, you had said, Bob said no, and I asked Bob about it, and I think he told me, when he was here the other day, I was thinking he told me they did put insulation down, so I think we need to find out, because if there was supposed to be insulation down there, then somebody needs to do something about it.
that's just it. I mean, what are they gonna, they can't fix anything that's under or in the concrete.
No.
Because, I mean, that's what it is what it is. I mean, it's a shame, but there's just no way of fixing that. I think the only way it's gonna be warm in there is they're gonna have to put them radiators in the ceiling. That's why it won't keep up when you have almost a third of the whole floor is not working. You know, that's why it just runs constantly and never gets warm.
Well, that's a good idea of using the same boiler.
Right, so
As long as it's big, well, I guess it's big enough.
It's big enough,
It's
yeah.
not heating 5 loops.
It's gonna actually take less water, I think, than what the 5 loops do. If you take 5 loops times 300 foot. Now that's 1,500 foot of water there compared to the boiler up in the ceiling, you only got 40 or 50 foot, whatever, going to it and back.
So he's gonna give us a price on that, is that
Well,
what
he
he
was
said?
supposed to, like, I thought they was gonna be here tonight, they told me there was. So
Because
I'm
we
not,
need to do something here soon. I mean, the building's not gonna freeze,
right, it never freezes, but it doesn't like,
Don't get hot,
Right.
warm it up.
And then doesn't
Right,
thaw
but-
out the cinders.
Now, another question too, that we may need to consider is putting antifreeze in the floor. Because if this other heater kicks on, and the other one, if the one in the floor is not working,
that'll stay working all the time. The floor will stay working, and then, so that'll be on one thermostat.
The ceiling will be separate one.
And then
Okay.
there'll be another thermostat will control.
we don't want it to kick off and freeze, especially out
Right.
around the edge of the walls, or
Yeah.
then we've got more problems.
Right, yeah, it has to be, but the problem is if the two that are leaking, if you put antifreeze in it, the antifreeze is gonna be gone, so you more or less gotta plug off
Oh,
them
yeah.
2 loops too, or all your antifreeze is just gonna, and that's probably why there's no antifreeze in it, the guy was here the other day, them two are leaking over time, it just keeps adding water out of the well.
Cold
So,
water.
Yep, so the more water you put in, the more antifreeze is gone.
So does it make sense then if we get the other heater going, to not use those 2 loops that are leaking?
I would probably shut them 2 loops off, because there's no sense of wasting.
Right, water.
You put a big enough heater in
Make the
this,
boiler work harder.
right,
It's gotta constantly
make
heat cold water.
Yep. Yeah, there's no sense of, I don't
Does our
think,
heat go higher at those times in the winter?
I haven't really paid any attention.
Did they say anything about adding a heat exchanger basically create a couple of boiler runs that do heat exchanger to the air?
That's what he's talking about, I think.
Oh, I thought the ceiling thing was something separate, a separate heater.
that's the hydronic heater, just a radiator, more or less a heat
Okay,
exchanger,
okay.
the same
Yeah, okay.
thing,
I
just
misunderstood. Okay.
a fancy word for it, instead of a farmer word, about the differences. I have one question also, while we're talking about heat north. Is there a reason why I can't load cinders off of that end of the pile, so I can use the sun in my advantage all the time?
No.
No,
Well,
we can load any
Load
side
whatever
you
you want.
want.
Well, that's kind of what I thought too, but so I'm gonna load them on this end, because the sun shines on that pile every day, all day long out there. Over here, the sun never shines on
No, that's-
Shaded, huh?
you're the one loading it.
it. Pardon?
Shaded from this building.
Right. Yeah.
Were you given a reason?
Not really, just supposed to load them over here. Is what I was told, so I said, I'm gonna see, because I'm gonna load them over there if I get my butt peeled, but, I mean.
No, you're loading anywhere you
It's
want.
gonna be better. You know, over here supposedly is all black cinder that's been there for years and years and years, and that was the biggest reason. If you use all the black cinders up, you won't get no more, but we got 5,000 ton of them this year. I'm not gonna use that in the inshore,
You only got 2,000 then.
whatever we got.
Got a big pile out there.
There's
that's
a
for
big pile. A big
I mean, they're precious and they're golds.
pile.
So, I mean, use them wisely
sure. Wanting to talk to
because they're expensive, but
the Bellows, the ag teacher, the shop teacher up here.
Greg?
Greg,
See if he can cut us out some new letters for a sign.
Oh,
Some of them are getting,
if they can got a solid. I don't know how they got in the shop now. It's not like it used to be.
no,
No.
I'm sure they could fashion his
He might be able to,
letters.
he might have a saw at home.
I bought one, I was gonna do it, 15 years ago. Still got the saw, never got anything done.
I think they've got bandsaws in there last I knew, so they ought to be able to fashion.
Kate comes home with some interesting creations.
Yeah.
Junkyard.
I just kind of put that there. I did get a check from Tom May for $400, and on it it's for 2024 and 2025. But really, he owes for 2019 and 2024.
2019?
2019. Yes, because he missed in 2019. I think we talked about this. He sent up a check for $1,000, but then he also built his house in 2019. But he did not send a check for the permit in that year. And then he sent a check for $1,000. So he was covered for several years.
So why wouldn't, when he sent the check, why wasn't that paid for 2019? When did he send you the check?
I don't know.
It was after 2019, right?
It was in 2020.
So then that should have covered 2019.
He sent one in, well, he missed in 2014 too. There's one for October of 2013, 2015, 2016, 2017, his assessment permit for his house in 2018, and then $1,000 for 2020.
So that should have covered the 2 previous years that he.
So then, figured that he owed for 2024.
Right.
And in 14 and 19. So in 20, he was a year behind. I think we figured that he missed one or missed 2. But anyway, I don't feel comfortable renewing his permit because you guys have not told me what else is wrong, but I have neighbors telling me that he still has other things outside the fence and he has not put any greenery around the fence. Have you been there?
Put it up and it died.
Okay. Does he have cars outside the fence?
I think he does.
So he has a fence around the junkyard and stuff outside the fence.
Yeah, got cars around the outside too.
Kind of defeats the purpose of having the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Nobody else gets a permit.
Have to see if he can get rid of some of them. I don't know.
He said, well, he did move some around down there by the garage.
A few.
Yeah.
See, Anger's truck gone already.
Yeah, they come, I don't know what day they got that. But, like, my theory is, we got other junkyards around, and they don't make an effort to even buy a permit. They don't even have a fence up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, and when I brought that up before, you said they pay property tax, do what they want.
that's right, and that's the same way with Tom. What's the big deal? I don't know why you're hell-bent on Tom May.
Why are you hell bent on the Prestons or the Willows
I'm not anymore.
or the Parkses? We went to court for the Parkses.
And if you go to court for him, what's gonna happen? Huh? Nothing. So my theory is why even buy a permit? Nobody else does. The man's trying to make a living. He does a lot of volunteer stuff for the fire company and for the borough. Yes, I agree. It's not anything to look at, but I'm sorry, but I just don't know why it's a big issue right now. And the $1,000 check should have covered 2 years. Should have went back and.
Then he would have still owed for.
Exactly, he would still owe current the last couple of years. But we haven't done our part either. That you have not inspected every quarter, like we had told him that we were going to do. We don't really have to. You can tell that it's not really the way it's supposed to be, but.
Then the ordinance needs to be looked at. We need to do something different.
And then do something with that ordinance.
And what are you
But
going to do
he
about
needs
it?
to follow what he got a permit for. If he's going to continue doing something, then he needs to put the cars that he has outside the fence in the fence, or get rid of what's outside the fence.
Where's the fence at, the one up by his house there?
Up this driveway across his house.
That's what I thought.
Follow the ordinance that Caldwell should send him a letter that he's not in compliance, then he should have so many days to clean it up, or then he would get fined, not being able to renew the permit.
Well, go ahead then. That's what you wanna do. I don't see where you're gonna gain anything. Cause nobody else does anything, so if he doesn't do anything, then what are you gonna do?
Right.
Did Mrs. Parks ever get hers fine paid? I know she was paying
She
on
got
it.
her
And
paid.
she passed away.
Pays it every month. She died.
She died, what, a year ago or so?
And her grandson, I think, is living there.
Yeah, he's done some work down there. But the house looks like it's just full of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got? Unemployment compensation, what's that?
What we pay into P-stats. We didn't have any claims, so it's the same as what we've been, so they didn't raise it.
Act 94.
Shapiro said that we can get more compensation for attending meetings for our, it's capped out now, or they raised the cap.
So you
I always thought that had to be approved by the auditors.
No,
That's the hourly rate for working.
if we wanna raise our being pay, I think we have to do it by ordinance. They used to have to do it that way.
Well, I have a call into legal defense. She didn't call me back.
Okay.
Right now, the current cap is for township population for 4,999. Current cap no more than 1,875. Current cap that's effective December 1st is 3,145. So right now it's at $50 a meeting.
We'll have to wait and see what you can find out from.
Yeah. I don't know what other people get.
You know, the auditor set the hourly wage for supervisors that work.
Okay, you sent that back to the commissioners.
I did. I did edit the address. They did have the designated address as 1448 Bread Road, and I did not want them tracing through my house, so I put it here.
Hazard mitigation plan.
Yes, so I did attend the meeting on the 31st. They have questionnaires, worksheets. I filled them out. They want to know like specific areas in the township that they have the floodplain maps at the county. But the specific areas that do flood every time that there's heavy, I know the fireman's field does, but is there any other spots in the township that,
For flooding.
that
Just
has,
on Lycoming Street.
well, I mean, that area, but there's not any
Besides
other,
when it rains a lot.
right, but there's not any other places that you wouldn't think of that floods.
Can't think of any.
You know, since they've been here, just the fairgrounds, Lycoming Street has been grown. They don't think of any place else that's an issue with, you know what I mean? It has to get really bad to go other places.
Like East Canton Crossroads, they don't ever flood
No?
I
down
don't think
that
so.
way.
I know years ago, we had water got high down there on, you know where the railroad grade is on our place, towards the barn, where a sharp curve. I drove through water clear up to the bottom of the tractor.
Really?
That was flooded. And
What was that, 72?
no, no,
You're talking your road?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
18.
couldn't. And
2018?
then I parked the tractor after I spread manure and it got cold that night and you couldn't shift it. Water got something froze up. Yeah, the water, it was deep.
It goes, yeah, you couldn't drive through there in 2018, and if we have a lot of rain, it'll flood just down past Borders too.
Yeah. Did you kick your neighbor out over there or what? I see he took his trailer and left.
No.
He said, told somebody he's getting sick of waiting for Dawson to fix the place up.
He's still living in it.
The only, I don't know.
Somebody living in the house?
Yeah, Dawson is.
There is.
Yeah.
Well, the electric got shut off, when there wasn't anybody around there. And he came back, he wanted to get it turned back on. Well, it had the old 60 amp screw-in fuses for the main box in. It wouldn't pass. I couldn't pass it.
So you gotta rewire it?
It's been shut off. Somebody said you gotta have it re-inspected before they turn it back on. So he was over there stapling wire up to the side of the house, and he must have got it inspected because he got electricity.
I see the porch light went back on again.
Yeah.
Okay. Broadband.
Yeah, so I need to make a motion to add to the agenda, because I got an email after I posted it, for the county to, for the broadband ready community, to do a resolution that we are going to be included in this. It's the county's initiative to upgrade the system, fiber optics. I've done the steps of doing the PowerPoint and going the questionnaire. The broadband ready designation for the Pennsylvania Broadband Development Authority. Ready designation promotes public-private partnerships with internet service provider, allows the municipality government or municipal governments to verify that they've completed the steps to expedite broadband rollout in their municipality. We're voted on the map. Progress Authority is reaching out to local internet providers as part of the program. So can I have a second to add it to the agenda?
I'll second it. You got fiber optic yet, do you? Anybody up your road?
They haven't went up our road, but they're up your road, aren't they, Michelle?
Yeah. They did our road.
I don't know if Frontier is. I know that right now Penn West is trying to get ours fixed. When their tower went down
In front of
close to
hours.
4 weeks ago, we've had problems ever since.
My phone bill used to be 125, and when they put the fiber optic, it went down to 49. Well, that's what Cheryl, what's her last name? McFall said it was the fiber optic brought it down. So I think we've been charged for internet, which we didn't have.
Really? Yeah, and then try to call and get it straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing to do with Frontier anymore. I switched my cell phone to T-Mobile and I got my internet through T-Mobile. And as of right now, I haven't had any issues. But I don't use it a lot. And $50 a month I'm saving by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been a customer since 1986. Well, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Phone book used to be this thick, now it's this thick. Now you don't even get one.
Like you could get one. So, the resolution for us to be part of the Broadband Ready Communities program, it doesn't cost anything. I mean, we could opt in to throw money at it, but did not opt to do that. I'll just sign that.
That's something I'm supposed to bring from the fire company, and they're looking, I just wanted to hand it out because they're looking for donation to buy some type of life-saving device, I can't remember.
It's an AED, I think.
AED?
Yeah.
I cleaned this thing out.
Automatic defibrillator.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I guess they're looking for, just wondering if any of the municipalities would be interested in donating something towards this apparatus that they're trying to buy, or want to buy. I can't remember, they told how much it was too. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
We bought on the church, how much was that?
They were like 3 or 4,000.
3,000 something, I think.
I'm thinking so too, because we just had to buy some new ones at work.
Right here. I'll give you all this paperwork. The top page is what I believe they were looking for. The rest of it's just the reports from their calls they made for the year, and I'm gonna have to carry some more stuff around. If I give it to Eleanor, she can carry it. I throw it away.
You're increasing rates for next year, correct?
Yeah, we already got that. It's not going up very much. I can't remember what it went up.
I just did a comparison quick. That's why I was late.
I was looking for that, where we made our donations, like the library and, what's that under? Oh, there it is. I suggest we donate, split that donation we was given to the recreation thing, to the food pantry and Little League or something like that.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Just get split in half each one.
Because they don't know what they're doing about the pool, do they?
No.
No, there's been no movement on that so far.
I haven't had a city manager in the last 3 months, so.
I have a feeling it's gonna go away, but I have a feeling the pool's gonna be done. It's pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it'd be nice to see it keep going, but
Wonder who funds Choice Pool?
I don't know.
It's in El Prime Park.
Yeah, I think.
Well, then it's Alperon Park.
Park does that?
Yeah.
Because, well, Becca took the kids over there for swimming lessons because the one year they didn't even have them down here because they didn't have anybody to do it. And then next year, the pool was closed.
It'll be a little while before they sort things out and really get things in a place where they know where they're actually going.
Mm-hmm.
The first year I lifeguarded there, we were accredited by the Red Cross, so whenever the kids passed whatever class they were in, they could move on and like they could get their lifeguarding through us. But then that got too expensive, so then we just had our own classes.
Well, there at one point they were talking about getting like some sponsors to to pay the fee for the kids to get certified. Because I told Rock Kitchen, I said, well, I'll do one if you do, but then they couldn't get any lifeguards.
Yep.
Well, last year people were offering to pay for send kids to do lifeguard stuff, and Amy shut it right down. She blocked commenting on the page and everything. She said that's not needed.
Nobody paid for me to take those classes. Paid my name for.
You know, it's too bad, but I see they went right to town on that building up there across from the Park Hotel.
Well, they imported it yet.
No, I don't know what's the deal, why they didn't port it.
Amy had pulled the permits because she doesn't like the guy. Things are getting sorted out now.
Oh, well, that's, Roy.
Darren Roy.
Darren Roy.
Well, I don't have to worry about her anymore. She could do a lot of good things, but she just could go overboard. So, no major changes in the budget, you're saying?
I don't think so. I want to meet with the lady for health insurance, to go over some options to see if we can have the same kind of, coverage, or do more of a health savings account like we have now, to lower the premiums. They're outrageous still. But I haven't got the paperwork, and she said that it would be the end of October when those, that information would come out, and I haven't got it yet. It's not getting into anybody's, medical information or anything, but relatively healthy individuals now. So, I mean, we don't need to, we can play a little bit. Still have decent enough coverage within.
As long as it doesn't change.
Yeah, we don't wanna go downhill, we wanna make sure they got the same coverage for
Right.
everybody, really.
Right, but, I mean, we have a little bit more wiggle room with what we can offer.
Right. Cam's working out okay?
Real good. Real good. Every day gets better, just less nervous.
Yeah.
And good.
Has he drove the dump truck much?
Yeah, I make him drive it all the time. I'm sure so he gets used to it. So I make him drive it and haul the roller, and just, the more he thinks, the better off he's gonna be. And just,
Yeah, he caught on up to the farm pretty fast and stuff too, but, let me know when you wanna do that tree. Someday I can help you.
I know it's good.
We got a place to put it. Well, Dad says that tree's been that way for years, and I
That
said,
well over there.
yeah, I said, no, it's not.
The wire's going.
And Frontier was out there one day, and I said, can you send somebody up to cut that tree? Oh, no, we gotta wait, we wait for it to fall, then the township will clean up the tree, and then we'll come fix the wire.
Well, we looked.
I'd rather have it, do it when we can than get a call in the middle of the night and have to
Me
do it.
too. I wanted to get when we had them nice days, but I did see either this
Just so
morning
you
or
know
yesterday
what
morning,
Some,
that it's
You don't
down
have to
more.
sign them,
There was a
I
bunch
sign
of,
them, but.
well, bark
That's
that
some-
fell off over the road.
It's
I
just,
told him,
um,
yeah, we better get after that, but
No, this is
So we might
the,
just- beginning of this week, come up through the loader and
sanitation.
get rid of, at least that branch that's gonna give us fits, gonna be gone. So,
Who knows, it might, once you get it off the wire,
the other piece
fall,
might fall over.
the rest of it might fall down. That's been there, Dad said, that's been there since we moved here, and I said, a third of it fell over. You can see where
Right,
it fell
yeah.
over the back, and as soon as that happened, then that one started falling into the road.
you still building that house up on Parsons Road?
Yeah, they've got walls up on it now.
Whose is it?
Ralph Griffin.
Is that what it is?
Oh, really?
Ralph's sister's wife, Miss Sherry? Michelle, yeah.
Are they going to move back down off the mountain then?
Yeah, when they get it done.
Mhm. Yeah, they was up there working on it.
We're doing the work, you know.
I think Cuz did the concrete work, but I don't know who put the walls up. I went by it last week and there were no walls, and now there's green plywood walls.
Whereabouts is that at?
Just up past Doug's place, there's that house that's down off the bank on the right, it's up across the road. They tore the house down.
Oh, okay, Barnes used to live there when I had, well, it was a big, kind of a big white
Yeah,
house.
they tore that down.
Yeah, it was in bad shape.
They had a heck of a time with the, they poured the wall first and the form didn't hold and it bowed in. So the plate would hang over the edge of the wall
Okay, yeah, that's probably what I got a phone call about.
And she called me one day, back in the summer. And that was Cole's fault. They should never approved.
That's what the guy that called me, he called me, he was all wound up, he says, I know it's not you guys' fault, but he said, Coach failed you.
She called me that, she had $5,000 worth of materials up there, and the contractor wouldn't start that day. So I got a hold of Bob Heil's number. He's above Torshire and whoever's here now. I got that number and I gave it to her. And then I didn't hear anything else back from her.
The guy that called me said, there's no way. He said, that shouldn't even pass. He said,
And then they got into tearing something out. They used a sewer drain type of pipe for, what was it? Should have been Skelter 40.
Right.
That sewer drain.
sewer and drain, which is almost paper thin.
Yeah. They should have used Skelter 40, and so that had to be changed.
Got a babysit, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any idea who's doing the carpet part, but I'm sure it was Carter, but they're fixing the concrete. They did that, I don't know, a month ago.
Yeah, he's the guy called me from Cuz and said he was working up there and he was telling that about what was wrong and it shouldn't, can't believe that the code inspections would let anything go like that. And the guy had a raspy voice.
Well, I don't have any idea.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm not sure, I can't remember what his name was. I said, well, it's really nothing to us. We don't.
Really?
The coach is hired by us to do the job, do their work.
Right. He said they're failing you. Whoever inspected it said they're failing you. I said, okay.
So the budget, you want me to put something together to advertise for 20 days so we can adopt it at the beginning of December? Or do you want to look at it beginning of December and then do it for the end?
Well, I just looked at it somewhere.
I mean, that's just a comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much it's gonna be the same, that we have the loan, and then, I mean, pretty much $5,000 a month for interest on the
Yeah.
loan. But it shouldn't change very much from last year.
You ever hear that generator start up in your ear? The test?
Yeah, once in a blue moon.
Okay.
I don't pay a lot of the time, but I have it runs. Both run about once a month or every 3
Once a
weeks.
week, at
Is it
least.
once a week, is it? Yeah, I haven't heard. It sounds like a helicopter going run.
I know I can hear the one up at the pig barn every Monday that runs.
Yeah.
I used to hear it. And then one day I heard it was like towards the end of the week and I thought,
What, on the west?
yeah, so I called them and a bird or something had flew into the wires and they didn't have any power. What's this, general administration?
That's the building monies and heating and,
Well, that says office supplies and computer expense, postage, bank fees.
Just take your time to put it in now.
oh, I don't project having to buy anything for the rest of the year. I've got a thing of paper and I've bought enough toner, so I'm good.
Oh, okay.
How come it fluctuates so much?
Depending on how much paper I go through.
Well, I know, but it was, in 2022, it was $3,200, and in 2023, it was $28,000.
For
Is that something should that have been 2,800 something, or?
probably.
It was 8,496 in 21. 22 it was 3,233.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been 28.
28.
When you put your new office in, wasn't it, Elmer?
I was gonna say, she's going through a lot of paper.
I would think that there probably, I would say, there's an extra 0 on the end of that.
I think so. Sounds it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she's got a really nice office.
No, I don't.
Figure out how
Probably
many-
2,801, or yeah, 2,816.
Figure out how they turned out here for voting.
Well, when I was here, there was a lot of people here. But when I went to the bus, there was one car here, and Dave and Cindy came down, and they said they walked right in and voted, so.
It was, what, 800 and something or so?
Yeah, 868 on this,
Oh,
thing.
those is out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
The numbers are out there.
Young people were here, I was happy to see them.
I didn't know who the gentleman was, but escorted me to the machine.
The
I thought it
older
was-
gentleman, an older guy that worked over, that was where, I don't know either, I never saw them two before,
The woman, had never
Yeah.
seen her.
never seen it
Yeah,
before.
there was
like,
2
oh,
new
you're-
volunteers, I forget who they were.
I'm like, oh, you're
Maybe
here,
they're
I'll,
Reported someplace else, because they did that in Alba. Jackie Spencer's in Alba, but she was in Canton Township.
Yeah, I wonder why they did that.
Well, they do that. I think Karen Watson came down from Crossroads to Alba one time there for Alba Girl.
I'm like, oh, you're at this machine, I'll pick another one. He's like, no, I'll show you what. And I'm like, that's done. Well, thank you. 'Cause I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, I didn't know who either one of them were.
I think Karen's down there too. Now for Alba, she lives with Jackie. And Marjorie, she come down here. Wasn't she Marjorie Spencer?
She
She
wasn't.
used to, but she
She
wasn't
wasn't?
here this time.
Alba, she told me, she said, well, when I went down there by that fire that day, I said, what are you up to? And she, nothing. Oh, you won't see me election day. She says, I'm in Alba.
So maybe it was Marjorie instead of Jack or Karen.
Yeah, the only 2 I recognized this year was Mona and Marie. I didn't recognize.
Emma was here,
Emma was here.
Who, was the one sitting here then?
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Kay
well,
Pepper was here,
Kay
Kay,
was here.
Or was she?
yeah.
Oh, she wasn't, I
Well, where does she live?
not later.
I don't know. We got,
Up there? Okay, I didn't know,
She bought Terry Riggs.
did ours with my mail.
okay.
Remember where Terry Riggs lives?
No.
The last house, or right across from Aldi and we're very far.
Okay. I heard who bought Geisler's place too, and I think
I saw that deed, can't remember what it was.
it was somebody we know. That was a nice view out that way, boy.
Has this place over here been sold at the bottom of McFadden?
Yeah,
Is it
Oh, it was?
yeah, Nate bought it.
your son?
Well, good.
You don't have a bachelor pad, huh?
Yep.
Because he's got a girlfriend you know
No,
about.
not that we know of. No,
Is it nice inside?
it is, yeah, I'm helping him with some stuff.
I always thought that was a nice place.
Yeah, last Thursday, he signed papers.
Who's the people that has it work?
Mitchell?
They-
No, Morse.
They haven't been there very long.
4 years. They wanted to get the English Trail School District. and she-
Well, I think we're finished. I make a motion adjourn.
I got a question
Oh.
first. Would you guys be willing to sign a letter of support for the Bradford County Library?
Sure.
We're not 100% sure what's happening yet, but
So why are they back on the kick of getting rid of the library?
They've been trying to get rid of the library and they got stymied last year. And now it's budget season. So they put into the budget that they're cutting like 15 operating hours off the library.
$148,000
Yeah,
they're cutting from the budget.
yeah. They're saving $148,000 off that $60 million budget.
Well, when this whole thing was going on before, Doug McClinko called me one day when I was on my way home with the bus, and he asked me what our thoughts were, and I said, well, I'm not too worried about the library right now. I said, I'm not very happy with you guys for selling the manor. I said, my mom's over there. I said, it's going downhill fast.